Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to wind a hank of yarn into a center pull cake. What we're going to use is this, an umbrella swift, this, a ball winder, and we're going to use some of my Be So Sporty sport weight yarn and a pair of scissors. Let's get started. First, I like to clamp each one of these to the table, and in my personal experience, I like to put one on one side of a corner and one on the other instead of both facing on the same side of the table. I'll start by clamping the umbrella swift to the table. If you have a wooden table or something with a thicker actual table thickness, it actually works a lot better. All I have is a glass table, so I make do with what I have. And we'll get this loosened up so we can tighten it on there. Okay. Take out one of my Be So Sporty yarns, and you'll see that it comes twisted in a hank. What you want to do is just loosely let it fall down and untwist itself. You want to make sure that you grab it from the center and not in between the strands. And if you look closely, it's been tied in several spots around the hank. If you're unsure, grab it by that and you'll see that all of the strands stay inside the knot. So now what we're going to do is take our loosened hank and wrap it around the umbrella swift. Pull it tight and clamp that on. Okay, now we're going to use our scissors and we're going to untie those knots. I'm going to start with this one and then we'll work our way around. That was the one that was making the knots, and here is our actual strand of yarn. One thing that I want you to understand, and this is something that you don't know until someone's told you or you've had a few experiences with winding yarn, this is not knotted. It has been wound individually all the way around, and there will be times when the yarn may stick on itself and you're going to want to panic and want to try to unravel it. If that happens today, I'm going to show you how you relax and just kind of massage the strands apart. Do not think that it's knotted. That is the biggest problem and biggest mistake people can make in making really knotted messes. So what we're going to do is take this through the eyelet, secure it in this little area on the ball winder, and that's what's going to give us our center pull ball in the end. And we're just going to start loop. And another thing is, make sure you go slow. If you go fast, sometimes you can actually get this too top heavy and it will go flying across the room. With a little more experience, you'll understand your speed and be able to speed it up, but as a beginner, I would suggest going really slowly. So what we're going to do is just start winding it, and as long as there are no sticky spots, it's going to go smoothly. But see, I just got stuck. Instead of pulling on here and making this tighter, what I'm going to do here is just massage the strands. Did you see how I did that? And that was a real minor one. Hopefully we'll see a bigger one so I can show you what to do. I also like to guide the yarn with my hand. So here we go. Here's another one. I just kind of massaged it very gently and it came right apart because it really isn't tangled. It's like the fibers just are a little sticky against each other. So I like to guide the yarn with my left hand. It gives me a nice even tension. I mean, with two moving parts like this, you know the tension isn't going to be completely static. So keeping the yarn between my thumb and my finger helps it stay a little more even. Pretty easy, huh? First time I bought yarn in a hank like this, the person that sold it to me didn't tell me how to wind yarn, and I had a super duper knotted mess. Here we go. because I just laid it on the table and just started trying to wind it in a ball. Obviously that doesn't work. If you don't have the umbrella swift and the ball winder, you can either use the backs of 2 chairs to keep it open, or even if you have a friend to hold the yarn like this for you with it wrapped around their hands, those are good ways to wind yarn without having these tools. But I will say, I've had these tools almost 10 years now and they're still going strong. Here we go. It's got another little sticky situation, and I'm just going to massage the threads. All done. Oh, another one. The most important thing to do is not panic when it happens. That is the surefire way to get a mess. Just relax and remember that when the yarn was wound into that hank, it did not have knots in it. Somebody actually took a single strand and did all of that work. Okay, I know I'm going a little faster now. That's just because I'm a creature of habit and I'm used to speeding along. If this is still your first time, I would suggest going a little slower. All right. Oh, here we go. The tail got attached to the yarn. No problem though. Just let it go. Tail got attached again. There we go. So now we're going to wrap the end around the outside. Remember we had the beginning piece tied down. We're going to pull that out, slide it off, and now you have a center pull cake of yarn that you can begin knitting and crocheting with. Thanks for watching today. Here's a close-up of me massaging some of the sticky strands apart. And a close-up of the tension of my hand as I guide the yarn from the umbrella swift to the ball winder. Oh, and here's another tip to point out. I'm going to slow down and stop so that I can show you. See how the other end of the yarn is dangling down? If this gets too long, it can sometimes wrap around here and actually stop you in the middle of your work. So what I like to do is pull it to the inside and just kind of wrap it around something to just keep it out of the way. Okay, back to smooth sailing. Okay, here we go. I'm just going to massage the fibers, and there we go. It's already untangled. There were times when I was a beginner at this when instead of massaging the fibers like that, I would actually take the ball off the ball winder, try to weave it in and out of what I thought was the knot, and oh my God, all I can tell you is that it is a disaster waiting to happen. These really are not knots. As much as your intuition in the beginning may tell you they are, they aren't. And I would have fought someone who told me that in the beginning too. Yeah, I'm going to show you how to slow down and stop once you're going fast. It's going to be a slow process to do that, and the reason why I want to show you is because sometimes this gets loose and I just want to pull it tight again, pull it out, extended. Just like if the phone were to ring or someone needed you for something, you need to know how to stop it too, because if you don't stop slowly like that, it'll start winding on itself in the opposite direction, and that can be a pain in the neck too. When we get to the end here, I'll show you what to do with that other end that we wound around the swift to keep it out of the way. See how it's going to be still somewhat secure. So we just go back to that spot, pull it out, and just do like we did with the first hank. Wrap that around. Remember this area here, we're going to pull that center pole strand out and pull the whole thing off, and there you go. Now we have 2 hanks ready to go in center pole balls, and we can get started on our knitting and crochet projects.